what I'm gonna show you is the most important thing. I've gone through like all these morning routines, evening routines, setting like every single thing that I'm doing every 15 minutes to every 30 minutes to every hour in my calendar. I've tried all these different techniques, and this has been the thing that is by far the most helpful for me. Hey guys, what's going on? Jake Nicolle here. Today's video is a little bit different because I'm gonna share exactly how I time block everything in my calendar from a day-to-day to week to month-to-month basis, and how I arrange it so that I don't have to think. Like, the number one thing that I try to do with my calendar is arrange it so that I have to think as little as possible as I go throughout my day. I don't want to debate with myself. Am I gonna do this? Should I be doing that right now? Because that just burns so much fuel. If your mind is like this resource where every day when you wake up, you're burning calories when you're thinking, I wanna try to think as little as possible on the insignificant things, and I don't wanna negotiate with myself. So, this is my calendar, we're looking at it right now, and we're looking at a week in my life. And I went all the way into June because I just wanted to have a blank slate. I didn't want to have any little things popping up. I just wanted you guys to see what my calendar literally looks like every week right now. And everything you see in here is a repeating event. Now, what I'm gonna show you is the most important thing. I've gone through like all these morning routines, evening routines, setting like every single thing that I'm doing every 15 minutes to every 30 minutes to every hour in my calendar. I've tried all these different techniques, and this has been the thing that is by far the most helpful for me, and it's called time blocking. So when you're using time blocking, what you're gonna do is you're gonna really set up your day in chunks. And I like to think of a chunk of my day as no less than 90 minutes, because the number one thing that kills your productivity is when you start switching between tasks. The reason it's so ineffective to switch between tasks is, let's say you're trying to work on something and it takes you like 15, 20, 30 minutes to get into a flow state where you actually start really thinking productively. And if all of a sudden you check Instagram, or all of a sudden somebody calls you, or somebody knocks on your door, now you have to try and get back into that flow state. And the longer you're interrupted, the longer it takes you to reset to get back into your state of flow. So I like to have these large blocks of time where I'm just dedicated to tackling stuff. And what I do is at the beginning of each week, I look at my time blocks and I try to allocate them toward what's the thing that I want to use these times for. So let's dive in. We're looking at my calendar. I know I'm getting into the weeds. This is just such a great subject to talk through that I want to give you guys some perspective. So you can see every single day, anything that's purple in my calendar are things that I have appointments for already, okay? So you can see on Mondays, actually start with Sundays, I got church. That's a time in my calendar that's blocked out, okay? When we get to Mondays, you can see we've got team meetings. These are my one-on-ones that happen with our staff. And I sit down with them and we talk about their lives, what's going on, how I can help them. We have that one-on-one time. You can see we get a weekly team meeting at 11 a.m. on Tuesdays. And then you can see after that, we've got weekly content that we film, which welcome to Wednesday. It's actually Wednesday right now. It's 11:28. We're in this block of content as we speak. And then you can see on Friday, I've got an event, okay? And that event's not gonna be that long, but I've got an event there in the calendar. Now along the top, I've got a running list of our clients so that I can quickly access from my phone, because you guys know I'm in real estate. I want to be able to access who are all the people that are active clients that we're in talks with, that we have appointments with. We keep track of it there as well as in a bunch of other places so that I can quickly just pop up my phone and remind myself of people that I should be calling and checking in with. Everything else you see are suggestions, and they are time blocks that I use so that I know when I should be doing certain activities. So if we start with maker time, because you're probably thinking, what in the world is maker time? Maker time is from a concept by a guy named Paul Graham. Paul Graham is one of the founders, I believe, of Y Combinator, which is easily the most successful startup incubator based out of the West Coast of the United States in California. And they're famous for helping companies like Airbnb, like Uber, all these mega crazy unicorn Silicon Valley startups, helping them launch. And one of Paul Graham's ideas is what I'm borrowing from: maker time and manager time. The other way to think about it is this way: maker time is your time that is your leveraged activity. It's when you're creating marketing efforts. It's when you're building systems. It's when you're doing all the things that you need to do to be super productive, and you block off a big chunk of your day to be maker time. The reason he learned this was he paid attention to the CEOs that he was working with. He paid attention to himself. He paid attention to the coders around him. And he noticed that if you're somebody, let's say you need to do coding in your business, and in that business you spend time doing coding, and you spend time in meetings. He realized that if you code for like 30 minutes and then you have a meeting, and then you code for an hour and then you have a meeting, nothing is effective because you can't get into the flow of your coding before you have another meeting. And then you try to get into the flow, you got a 60-minute time block, you only really do 30 minutes of productive work, and then you got a meeting. And he realized this is not working for people's ability to be in a state of flow and to work. And you can see on the right here, if I actually open this up, you can see that I've got my leveraged productive time defined. So I'm saying maker time is leveraged, it's productive time. It's things like running ads, creating campaigns, working on our listings, running YouTube ads, hiring, right? Creating leverage for myself. Then you can see that the appointment time and team time, if I go to appointments, it's like, this is just a reminder of unleveraged productive time. So these are the things that I can be doing to move the needle forward. They're unleveraged, but they're still productive. And then you can see I've got a big block for sales. Okay, working through sales, this is when I'll look at the clients list, follow up with people. This right here is my secret for organization. Aligning my calendar so that it works in a way where I have things defined and laid out. And if I have someone who calls and says they want to do an appointment, I'm usually gonna say, hey, my morning's busy or it's full. Can you meet me 1 p.m. onward? And that allows me to make sure that my mornings are dedicated to pretty much being able to focus on keeping the main thing, which is doing productive, leveraged work, not just productive, unleveraged work. I would say that's probably the best place to wrap up this year. You can see in the evening, I've got some time carved out for dinner. I've got some white space in my calendar so that I can just tackle other things in there if I need to. And this has really helped me free up my mind because now I don't have to debate with myself. When 1 p.m. rolls around, I'm thinking, what do my team need from me that I gotta get back to them on? When 3 p.m. rolls around, that's when I should be out doing my appointments. So for you guys, drop a comment below. How do you organize your calendar? Tell me what method you're using, what you think works. And if you're gonna apply this, tag me at Jake Nicolle, Nicolle, on Instagram, TikTok, wherever it is that you're hanging out. I'd love to see how you're arranging things. Tag me in a story, I'll definitely repost it. And if you enjoy this, drop a comment below, smash the like button, hit subscribe. We're gonna be doing some more content like this where we get into the life of me, a 7-figure producing realtor, for you to understand how you can arrange your life so that your calendar works for you rather than against you, and so that you can be successful in all the things that you're pursuing. Jake Nicolle signing out. Cheers.